I do want to hit things pretty hard next week. Gameplay streams. Now that it is the beta. Or is it the beta?
I believe the Greek pronunciation is beta. But everyone calls it, everyone says beta. I think,
wow.
Or is that might be the reverse. I should probably know this. For people in the audience will understand, I've been deep into Greek for the past little while. It's basically all of this week, which went well, but yeah. I think it's beta. But yes, we're in beta now. Dragonflight is moved from alpha to beta, and with that, it is now feature complete. Oh wait, no, it's not yet. Not just yet, because they're still missing a couple little things. But it did feel like they were waiting the whole time just to wait for all the talent trees to be done, and then they could flip the beta switch.
Yeah,
so that's what they did. Yeah, that's what they did this week with, hey, sorry, Vengeance Demon Hunters, you're the last of the list. But here you are. And there seems, I haven't looked at it too in depth. It looks pretty okay. But it is beta. And I think that came with a lot more people being invited in.
Yes, I imagine so.
I saw a very populated Stormwind. And actually, because they opened character copies as well, I saw a very populated Ouroboros when I actually copied my character over. And I was like, that's very interesting. That's interesting. People want to see what their character feels like with all the new talents. And it's funny how different it is. Because I made a character that was a paladin with the template that was literally, it was a clone of my character. But it just wasn't her. But then I copied over and had all the gear and legendaries. This is my character. Now I'm playing World of Warcraft.
It feels different, right?
Yeah, it's crazy how much that works.
Yeah, and you know what? Let's just do that first. So, yes, it is. It's beta time. Probably about 3 months until the game comes out, I would say. Right, if we're assuming a late November. Maybe in early December at the latest. I would definitely say, and this is, maybe I'll expand on this a little bit later at the minute, or later on when we're talking about some of the class changes. But I really hope Dragonflight's delayed. And not from the perspective of this isn't going to be ready in time, or I'm worried about bugs, or I'm worried about decisions. I'm literally just like, man, if you could just say, no, we're going to take another couple months and continue this iterative process that we've got going on with the class stuff, I think it would be super beneficial. But we'll get into a little bit more of that when we talk about when we talk about the priest changes and some of the blood decay changes, because I want to talk just a little bit about those. Cool.
Because they're cool.
Yeah. So with this, all the zones are in, all the dungeons are in. There's a new PvP arena that's also in. Do make sure your account is opted in, of course. There was a character wipe, so I am very glad that I decided not to grind reps to test out that renown bar, because I kind of suspected there would be a wipe. I imagine there'll be no character wipes from this point onward, hopefully, which means that anytime invested in getting a character in a decent state in beta to see what those more endgamey things are like, that it'll actually be worth it. But funny enough, there are no level 80 templates or level 70 templates.
Yeah, that's at least there weren't whenever I checked yesterday, last night. So maybe they'll add them at some point. But it does feel like they're actually going, okay, well, we're not ready to test the likes of M+ with the current class iterations and stuff like that. We want people to level up, do the quests, do the actual content. We'll get as many bugs kind of sorted out of those as possible. Probably a little bit of how does progressing from 60 to 70 with the talents and your character, because that's the interesting thing where if not for the fact that I currently have my Shadowlands legendaries, they're definitely I was nerfed logging in talent wise. Obviously there's a couple of different things that I have that are kind of nice, but there's definitely just in terms of what I actually have access to, my legendaries are saving me from feeling nerfed, because as an example, I have the Bulwark of Righteous Fury on my shoulder, and that's one of the bottom talents in the proc tree. So I'm like, well, if I didn't have my shoulder, I would just be nerfed, because I can't get all the way down there with everything I want at the minute, or with everything that feels normal at the minute. So it's I think they probably want to test that, as well as get all the feedback from this main quest. Literally doesn't work, that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's the rough thing. This is ideally the final level of suck. There's always a level of suck from expansion to expansion, right? Because in terms of ratings, those converting through to things like your percentage of haste, those things all fall off a cliff and your gear does end up getting reset and all of that. But of course, the borrowed power, right? Like, you lose all your Covenant stuff, you lose your legendaries. Some of you, if you had legendary abilities or Covenant abilities that really worked as a design, a few of those Blizzard are like, they're keeping around.
Yeah.
But you'll probably have to re-earn them, which still means it is a little bit of that Legion to BFA syndrome, which, because I think Legion to BFA did feel worse than BFA to Shadowlands, right? But like a little bit of that, I've just been nerfed. This is a cool new talent system that I'm going to use to basically recreate my Shadowlands build. There's like a few instances where that's a little bit unfortunate, but there are plenty of instances where like customizing your utility, at least in the class tree, I think is going to feel pretty good. And I mean, especially like fucking hell, Disc Priest. Boy, do we have changes.
Yeah, that's the thing where the druids, that's why I'm full on like copium tanks, just not even breathing it anymore, just into my veins, going, if you can do pretty intelligent changes to Priest to make it feel a little bit nicer and iron out a lot of stuff, because I mean there was who was it? Yeah, it was like Kevin Raymond just dropped a super for $5. Shadow Priest Discord gone from depression memes to being hopeful in one day. Looks good. And you're like, well, that seems to be a recurring thing with Shadow. We're like, hey, we've just got changes. This looks really cool. And then I guess some form of time and just general evolution during that expansion ruins it again. But it's that thing where if the Shadow Priest Discord can go from we're doomed, we're dead for another expansion, this is a nightmare, to wait, is that a good change? Wait, is that Mind Spike?
I'm feeling hope.
Wait, Searing Nightmare's gone. Mind Seer's now insanity cost. Oh, that's actually cool. Wait, Shadow Word Death is like, I think it has no cooldown based on the talent size rating. So it's like a full on like Fury Warrior Execute kind of situation. You're like, that's cool. But then there's will that work for Druid? Will Feral Druid be able to go be able to have some changes that are like, here, pick Sabretooth and have no fun?
No, Matt, it is written upon the stars from the very creation of the cosmos that Feral Druids will never be finished and will never be happy.
That's pretty ironic that it's written in the stars, but yeah.
Sad. But in fairness, decent chance that Feral Druid's going to get something soon enough. And yeah, it's been cool, right? See what's going on with the priests at least. Like I haven't hopped in and tried any of the stuff.
Yeah.
It's more just I'm thinking, that's interesting. I'm willing to give that a shot. So yeah, pretty neat. As we kind of go through a few other things, the location is basically where we thought it was. Now, in the very original drawings, it was more like over here. Yeah. But that actually would face a problem with the current lore, because that would mean that it would have been part of Kalimdor, the supercontinent. So by placing it way over here in the map, then plausibly it can be an island. It doesn't have to be a part of Kalimdor, but it can be an island that also is plausibly close to Northrend, which can kind of make the like Galakrond and all that stuff make a little bit more sense, right? So that's the location of the Isles. No real confusion. In terms of class stuff,
Intercession, let's go.
Yep, we got some happy news for Matt.
Well, as I said last week, this doesn't fix any of the fundamental problems Paladin has. It's nice to have. It doesn't fix any of the fundamental utility problems that Red has. It means people don't bring them quite as much as they probably should for a variety of reasons. But it is nice. So something else would also be nice, but this is good too. I'll take it.
Yeah, so Intercession. Your Paladins are getting a combat res. So that's
three holy power and instant for proc. Let's go.
Yeah, right.
Let's go.
This because like with so I guess like a Word of Glory can sometimes just miraculously look and feel like a lay on hands. At least when I'm looking at the health bars as a healer.
I was only getting stronger in Dragonflight, technically with talents as well.
Oh, Bog, great.
It's getting the I think it was one of the artifact powers from Legion that added a hot to the end of it for a percentage. We're getting that talent back. So we have Word of Glory will hot. Well, it's called Light of the Protector and Hand of the Protector back then, but you know what I mean. It now has a hot as well, so it's not all just one shot.
But man, an instant combat res, that's pretty sweet. So that's nice for the Paladins. As you said, yeah, it doesn't. There's like a bunch of things that it doesn't fix, but what it does do is it says, hey, there is a very important form of utility, and that's a box that you now tick, which for a lot of people maybe will be helpful in terms of roster issues.
As Unknown Character says, they are a flashlight DK.
Yeah,
That's what they are. They're also slightly faster. Slightly faster. Well, it depends on how good that new Death's Advance talent is. Death's Advance gets a little speed boost at the start improvement now too.
Oh, if the tables turned there, Paladins were slower than DKs, that'd be really funny.
Based on the based on the pathing of the class tree for Paladin at the minute, where it feels like you're shooting yourself in the head if you take the lower cooldown or longer duration Divine Steed and the double charges. Maybe Death's Advance and Wraith Walk together actually does make a DK slightly faster. But then people go, no, you've got Crusader, or you're like, shut the fuck up. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. That doesn't count.
And for the Drakthir, you get Bloodlust. So Evokers get Bloodlust. Right. So that's really it for the beta. We're going to have to see, of course, when max level characters and that kind of thing actually, starts to happen.